What's going on there, YouTube, and welcome back to another comic book video. Okay, guys, so we are basically going to continue our coverage over something that we have basically started a while back. I mean, a very long time ago, but we are going to continue our coverage over that because it does lead into Dawn of DC, but we got to do a lot of catch up. So, guys, bear with me. Now, basically, what I'm talking about is Catwoman series from 2018. Yes, that far back. We covered Volume 1, and matter of fact, we covered Volume 1 in two separate videos, but we did cover Volume 1. But either way, it does take place after DC Rebirth, but also after Batman and Catwoman was supposed to get married. But we all know what happened after that. She basically left Batman at the altar and she left Gotham and she went to a new city called Villa Hermosa. Now, this was Catwoman trying to begin a new life in a new city, away from Batman, away from Gotham, the city she grew up in. Now, with that being said, though, as soon as she arrived in this new city, of course, she found trouble, where apparently there were ladies running around pretending to be her. She had some copycats out there, and of course, it led to a whole crazy storyline that you guys should go watch as a way to kind of catch up to what's going to happen in today's video. Now, throughout this video, I will basically kind of mention different things to kind of help you understand why certain characters are acting the way they are. But hey, we got to keep going forward. Now, with that being said, though, when it came to Volume 1 as well, Catwoman also found her sister. And she has to take care of her sister now because her sister is physically and mentally ill. And so now it's down for Catwoman to basically take care of her sister, but still continue to try to make a new life for herself in this new city that she has gone to. Now, we actually do start today's storyline off at Villa Hermosa, an international airport. And the reason why, because somebody is arriving into the city to basically see Catwoman. And of course, it is somebody from Gotham. And that person would be the Penguin. Now, when it comes to the Penguin and Catwoman, they have a small history with one another, and not like in a romantic way. It's more kind of like Catwoman had basically screwed over a lot of different characters from Gotham City because she is a thief. But this is him arriving at the city that she moved to, Villa Hermosa, looking for her. Now, the way he arrives is really messed up because as soon as he arrives at the airport, he does get in a car, a taxi, and you do have the taxi driver actually try to talk to him because that's their job, to kind of drive you somewhere, but also talk to you to make the drive a little bit easier for each other. But of course, the Penguin does not like this guy. And so you have the Penguin tell the guy to pull over and he shoots the guy in the head. Yeah, that's the Penguin for you. Just a messed up little dude. But either way, the Penguin has now arrived at Villa Hermosa. Now that is the moment where we do jump over to, well, somewhere else in the world, where of course we pick up with Rayna Creel. Now, Rayna Creel was the main bad guy back in Volume 1. And let me explain why she's just so messed up right now. Because basically she was someone who was born into poverty and she wanted to have the life of a rich person. And so what she did was, once she was accepted into a family that was wealthy, she basically killed off that entire family in some kind of master scheme as a way to inherit their money. And then she married a governor to keep that money coming in. Now, because she had so many different surgeries done to her over the years, it basically caused her face to fall apart at a faster rate, where basically she looks older than she does. Her nose has fell off completely. She has no teeth. She basically lost all her hair except maybe a few strings, and that is it. But really, she was the main bad guy back in Volume 1. But of course, Catwoman was able to stop her. Now, right now, she's somewhere else in the world trying to get a certain kind of surgery done to basically fix her facial appearance. But you do have the nurse tell her that the surgery that she wants to have, it's basically told to them that you can only have that surgery once every 12 months. But because she was there just 3 weeks ago, they're kind of like, you cannot have this surgery at all. Like, you will not survive the process all over again. Now, finally picking up with Catwoman, we actually do see her saying goodbye to her sister, Maggie. And like I said earlier, Maggie is physically and mentally ill. Like, her mind is completely shut down. She can't move, but it's still Catwoman wanting to take care of her sister. Now, with that being said, though, she does leave for the night to kind of stretch out her legs. So she goes out of the night as Catwoman, while Maggie is with Carlos. And Carlos is a dear friend of Catwoman, an ally that will be around for most of the books when it comes to the Catwoman series. But he basically tells Selena, like, hey, go ahead and go out the night as Catwoman. I'll watch over your sister. Go have fun. But then we jump over to Villa Hermosa Pier. Now, when it comes to Villa Hermosa Pier, it's kind of like your usual pier in most places in the real world, where you do have rides for family and friends to ride on, but also games for family and friends to play with as well. But while you have all these innocent people just minding their business and having a good night, well, that is the moment you do have a lot of explosions are happening here and there around the pier. Now, the reason why this is happening is because the Penguin, he's basically telling his men, okay, set off another one and another one and another one. And the reason why he's doing that, because he's trying to get the attention of Catwoman. Now, after setting off enough bombs to basically grab her attention, she does see a guy on the ground waiting for her, where of course this guy tells her, hey, I have somebody who wants to meet you. Where, of course, it does lead to her fighting against a bunch of the henchmen of Penguin. Now, the next few pages, it's really her just fighting against these henchmen that work for the Penguin. And honestly, it does not mean that much because she does defeat these guys so easily, left and right. Like, honestly, I feel bad for these guys, but what can they do? It is Catwoman. But after defeating all the henchmen that work for the Penguin, well, of course, she does enter into the room that he is in. And that's the moment he says, please take a seat so that we can actually talk. And of course, that means the Penguin is about to hire Catwoman for a certain kind of mission. Now, getting into the second chapter of today's video, and honestly the last chapter of today's video, we actually do pick up with Rayna Creel again. Now, this time we actually do see Rayna Creel with Sam Yilmaz, and I really hope I pronounced that last name correctly. Now, remember, Sam Yilmaz works for the Villa Hermosa Police Department, but he is a crooked cop. He does work technically for Rayna Creel. Now, right now, you have Rayna Creel going to visit somebody. Now, the person she's going to visit is known as the custodian of the Rectory. And I really hope I pronounced that last word correctly. But we're going to call this person the custodian. Now, right now, you kind of have Rayna here for a certain item that you believe is going to help her look young again. But in reality, what she is buying from the custodian is not for her, it's for somebody else. Somebody we saw back in Volume 1. And we're going to see very soon here in Volume 2 storyline. Now, with that being said, though, after she does buy the certain item that she was able to get, of course she does see something else that catches her eye. Now, we are not told what this item is, but of course you do have Rayna trying to buy the item off the custodian. But you do have the custodian tell Rayna, listen, this item is not for sale. And trust me, money is not a problem. Like, you can offer any kind of amount of money you have on you or in your account to try to purchase this item. But I'm going to tell you no either way, because this item is not for purchase. Now, getting back over to Catwoman and Penguin, you do have the Penguin coming to Catwoman with a job offer to basically use her skills as a thief to steal a certain item that he wants. Now, with that being said, of course you do have Catwoman say no, because to her, she's kind of like, why in the world would I help you out? Like, you are one of the worst people I know, and there's no way, you know what, that I would basically help you out. But then that is the moment you have the Penguin mention Holly. Now, Holly is a very important character, and the reason why, because Holly is the old childhood friend of Catwoman. They basically grew up together in an orphanage. Now, when that orphanage got burned down, you had Selina teach Holly martial arts. Now, here comes the big problem with teaching her how to fight, because then you had Holly go and killed 237 men. Yes, 237 men. Now, all of those men, they were responsible for what happened to the orphanage, why it got burned down. And so that's why she killed all those men. Now, you had Selina basically take the fall for Holly because they were close friends, but you didn't have Batman find out why Selina was put on death row for, because she was basically covering for a friend. And so you had Batman kind of help clear Selina's name. But now it seems like the Penguin was able to find Holly and he is holding on to her, which means that if Catwoman wants to see her friend again, she's going to have to complete the job that the Penguin has basically offered her. Now, you do have Catwoman actually try to steal the item that Rayna was trying to steal earlier. Of course, we now know that Rayna was unable to buy the item. Either way, though, you do have Selina trying to steal the item. Now, when she breaks into the building, she is confronted by a whole lot of different kind of creatures. Now, these creatures are basically defenders of this jewel, this item that the Penguin wants. But either way, though, you do have Selina being able to get away from those creatures and actually find the item that she was hired to take. But right when she does grab the item, well, that is the moment she is confronted by the custodian. But then we jump over to Creel Mansion. Now, Creel Mansion is, of course, the home to Rayna Creel. Now, with that being said, though, right now you have her son, Raymond, coming home to the mansion because he was called by his mother, Rayna. Now, when he finds his mother, Rayna, he does see that she still looks the same. Of course, thanks to all those surgeries and everything else, she still looks kind of deformed. Now, with that being said, though, it is her saying, listen, she has something special to show him. And she does take Raymond into another room. Now, there is something I do want to mention. When it comes to Raymond, Rayna looks at Raymond like nothing. Like the son she could care less about. The son she does care about was Adam. And the reason why, because Adam was more, how I say this, he was more of a mama boy. He would do anything for his mom. Even if it was illegal, he would do anything for his mom. But of course, Adam died in the last volume. And so why she went to the custodian was to basically buy something that can bring Adam back to life. Now, you do have Raymond try to stop his mother, like, what you're doing is wrong. Like, you're bringing someone back from the dead. But for Rayna, she has to have her son Adam back because her and Adam, they had one close of a relationship. And so she wants her son back. And so she bought an item, some kind of medicine that can basically bring Adam back to life. And so she does put the pill or medicine into his mouth and he does wake up. But getting back over to Catwoman and the custodian, she does tell Catwoman that she is basically the protector of the Rectory. And she does tell Catwoman that that item will only cause mischief and other problems for Catwoman down the road. Either way, though, this is Catwoman saying, listen, I didn't come here for the stories. I really don't care. I only came here to do a job, and I'm going to complete this job. Now, you do have the custodian say, fine, if you plan on trying to leave with that item, then you're going to have to go through me. And so the next few pages is really more of Catwoman fighting against the custodian. And their battle does go on for a few pages. And I mean a few pages. Because of course, at first, you do have the custodian being able to actually win the battle. She is actually winning. But then you have Selena being able to come back around and actually win the fight. Now, while you have Selena leaving, you do have the custodian tell her one last time, by taking that item, you're going to have a lot of more problems pop off. And you have Selena say, you know what, I'll be okay. But it was the custodian trying to warn her what is so special about that jewel and why it's going to cause her a lot of problems down the road. But again, Selena is only here for a mission, to basically complete the mission to save Holly's life from the Penguin. But to go ahead and wrap up today's video, as you have Selena walk out the building, of course she is grabbed by the men who work for the Penguin. It was the Penguin waiting for the right moment to basically get the item he wants, but to also remove Selena Kyle out of the equation, so that he'll have no more problems with her down the road. But with that being said, this is where we are going to end today's comic book video. So please leave me a like down below and subscribe. But guys, I'll see y'all next time. Later.